I'm at home because I'm snowed in. But I decided to try to go live today. Um, some things I wanted to talk about was some of the. So I wanted to talk about was first of all the well things I want to kind of talk about is drum tuning. Um, So big thing that I've been seeing with and get some of you guys' opinion on drum tuning and all that. Um, so the first thing that I see as far as drum tuning is concerned is that a lot of times when guys tune drums, they just they tune drums without having like an actual system. The big thing about drum tuning is is you know is that drum tuning is not as hard as everybody thinks. To drum tuning. The best way to learn how to tune drums is to learn from somebody that has more experience. That's how I learned. Um, I remember when I first started playing drums, I was doing righty tighty, lefty loosey, and I was never getting the sound that I wanted. But then I found guys like Rob Brown on YouTube, and he was teaching a very simple, understandable method of how to tune drums, regardless of heads. Um, Now, my recommendation is in order to get the absolute best sound, you should change heads. But if you can't change heads, it's still possible to get a good sound. Um, the big thing that I learned from him and from some of the others like Drumeo, as far as drum tuning is concerned, is that when you tune drums, regardless of what heads you use, you always want to first deaden the heads on both sides. I want to deaden the top head and the bottom head. And what I do is when I'm tuning my toms, a secret that I use, a tip that I always recommend is to turn the snare wires off. Turn the snare wires off, and then you start from there. Um, you take your drum key with your toms, and you deaden both heads. Now, when I used to tune my skins, I used to leave them. I used to leave them on the rack. I used to leave them on the rack, which is something personally I don't recommend anymore. It's a lot harder, at least for me personally, to tune like that. So what I like to do is I like to take it to like a soft surface, like a bed or something, or put it on my drum throne and turn the snare wires off and then deaden both heads. So I always like to take it off the rack. And then what I do is I press down on both. I press down on the head as I'm tuning to see where all the wrinkles, to make sure that all the wrinkles are there. Then I finger tighten, then I tune. And then that's it, because I always start with the bottom head first. I always try to make sure that the bottom head is a little bit higher than the top head when I'm tuning. Um, I know a good method you can combine with it is using the TuneBot. Um, I'm a big fan of using the TuneBot, even though I don't always use TuneBot. I still like to rely on my ear, but using the TuneBot and going to guys like Ryan Prem for how he uses a TuneBot and going to that frequency. He has a drum app, um, and I was able to download that drum app. I believe it's called the Drum Calculator app. I believe it's called, and I have it downloaded in I have it downloaded in Google Play Store. It's free. It's not like the other apps where you got to pay. But this right here can be a lifesaver if you follow the exact steps that Ryan Prim has. When you go inside of the settings for the drum calculator app, and then you tune to the specific. You try to tune to the specific frequency that he tunes to. What I recommend is, and I'm pretty sure he would agree with this, is that when you're tuning a skin, because he follows the same steps pretty much that Rob Brown follows. But what I recommend if you're gonna use a tune bot is you're tuning is when you put the tune bot on is when you put the tune bot on the tom. What I recommend is making sure that when you're tuning to get that specific frequency or pitch, I recommend always tapping near the lug, maybe once or twice, and then after you tap under the lug that you're tuning and you finish tuning on that lug and you move to the next, don't keep tapping. Don't keep hitting don't keep on hitting the tom close to the lug that you're tuning because that can give you an inaccurate reading. I say I say hit the lug that you're hit hit close to the lug or near the edge where you're tuning, maybe once or twice, and even when in between, if you hit it more than once, don't take a little short break before you hit. Maybe wait maybe 5 or 6 seconds or even 10 seconds before the next tap if you're gonna tap for notes, which I mean is really not necessary. But if that's what you want to do, that's what I recommend if you're gonna use the tune bot. But I like Rob Brown's method the most without the tune bot because it helps me be able to tune by ear. Now, a good thing. Now I got a Yamaha Stage Custom Birch set, so I have the stock heads. Um, Still have not changed the heads yet, but what you can do, what you can do is you can do some research, or you can call the Guitar Center, and that's where I got my set from, and ask them about, and ask the drum specialist about a specific question like how to get a deep fat sound. My recommendation for how to get a deep fat sound with, if you have stock heads on your Yamaha Stage Custom Birch, is to tune medium high. Tune medium high. I know in most cases, tune. Of course, you still want to make sure your bottom head is higher than your top head, but tune medium high. Tune to a medium high frequency if you want to get a deep fat sound. Yeah. Don't don't try to just tune low like you would for other like you would if you was to change the heads to like Remo Ambassador or something like that. Even though with Remo Ambassador, I heard you want to do the same thing because of the shells, but if you do tune a little higher, the shells on the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch are kind of thick a little bit. Um, so you can still get a deep fat sound. Um, the big thing about the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch that I like when I tune high is that I'm still able to get a deep. Is that I'm still able to get when I tune a little bit high on the top head after tuning higher on the bottom head, I'm still able to get that sound I want. And to make sure I don't have that unwanted resonance going on, you can put a ring on it. Me personally, I think a lot of people talk about not using tape, and I do agree that if you use tape, it can at the end of the day ruin the sound. However, I have seen some live recordings with some of the best drums with some drums that has some great sounds with tape on them. Um, if you knew who the Canton Spirituals are, and you go and you listen to their live from Memphis #1 CD, or live from Memphis #1 on YouTube. You can YouTube it. Um, the camera sometimes has shown the heads that the drummer was using. Mike Richardson was his name. Well, he had some tape, and his toms sounded amazing. So he had tape. Um, but I still don't recommend using tape. And plus, see, they had some of the absolute best mics of that time frame. So of course he's gonna get that coveted sound. But my whole thing is that if you're gonna use stock heads and you're gonna tune, make sure that you know what heads. My recommendation is to make sure you know what type of shell you're using and know what kind of set, what kind of set you're playing on, and what type of frequency you need to tune to if you want to get that deep fat sound or the sound that you're looking for, or to get a good sound out of the drums. That's my whole recommendation. Um, Me personally, my goal was to be able to get a deep fat sound uh, 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 without having to use my drum ring. That was my goal. It didn't quite work out, but the fact that I only needed one drum ring, I was content with. Um, so if you need one drum ring to get rid of resonance, that's okay. Or moon gel, or maybe two moon gels. Me personally, I don't think it's a good idea to use like 5 and 6 moon gels on a head. If you have to do that, in my opinion, then you probably didn't do such a great job. Um, because that would be like choking the sound. But what I like is that I only needed one drum ring on each head, um, to kill the unwanted resonance and an unwanted ring. Because when I was coming up and I was first starting out playing drums, which was about 20 something years ago, and someone was showing me how to tune this, telling me righty tighty, lefty loosey. I was never happy with sound. So what I would do, so I would try to use so even when I used a drum ring or something like that to muffle the sound, I still wasn't necessarily content or happy with what my ears was hearing. As as I like to tune according to what I would hear on the radio and stuff. But my whole thing is that when you hit a tom, you want the sound that. My whole thing is this about drum tuning though. You've done a good job if you can achieve the sound that you like to, you know. Now that's without the moon, that's without the ring. That's what my tom sounds like without the ring, so it's now if I put the ring back on, I'm gonna show you what it sounds like. Having a drum ring makes a big difference. Yeah, these Evans E rings right here, they only cost about $5 at the Guitar Center. These have been very clutch for me. If anybody has ever seen any of my Gospel Chops videos or short side posts on there, um, I've been very pleased with the sound. I don't have any mics set up right now. I mean, I do have microphones, but I haven't been able to set them up yet. Um, but I'm very pleased with the sound I've been getting without having to use mics, and I having to use special recording effects. But one thing I do recommend though, if you want to get a sound that is pleasing, if you don't have mics and stuff when you're like recording from your phone, one thing that I recommend is making sure that the camera is the camera angle is facing you and the drums. Make sure the camera angle is facing you and the drums. So I'm gonna give an example real quick because I have the camera feature right in front of me on the live where I can take the camera off myself and put it to like let's see, like my wall, and then like let's say I put it to my wall, and then I try to have it where instead of my actual phone screen facing me, my instead of phone screen facing me and having it just the uh, where the camera is facing me, but I can only see the back of the phone and not the screen itself. What I don't like is that it's not necessarily picking up the sound here, it's actually picking up the sound of the wall. If I was to change the camera angle like this and then have it where I can only see the back of the phone case rather than the screen itself, but have it where that's not a good sound. That's something that I recommend. That's something that I learned. If you're not going to use mics, is to make sure your camera angle is. I'm going to change the camera angle back. Have it where when I'm recording, I'm able to see the phone screen and look at myself while I'm playing. Because the camera is going to pick up the sound of the angle that it is facing in. So if I have it where I can see the screen and look at myself in the screen, like I'm doing now, then it's going to pick up the sound that it is faced towards. But if I was to turn the camera angle back and then have to turn it around where I can see only the back of my phone, I can't see the screen itself, can't look into the camera, I got to turn it like this and then turn. It's actually going to be picking up the sound of the wall. I mean, it's actually going to be picking up the sound like it's going to be picking up not the sound of the wall, but it's going to be picking, but it's going to make the sound far away, and it's not going to give me a sound that I want. So, because I've experienced this before and I've tried to record. So that's a tip, is to be able to have it where the camera angle, where you're able to look into the screen, the phone screen itself while you're recording, in order to get a good sound. As you want it to be able to pick up the sound that it's intended for. The camera angle, I feel like, kind of reads the sound that it is facing. I mean, pick up the sound from the area that it's facing. That's the best way I can say it. Pick up the sound from the area that it is facing. If that makes sense. But yes, these Evans rings right here are clutch. They can really get rid of resonance. Now, one thing I did get perfect, I mean, with my bass tuning is, let's see. I'll show you my bass tuning. Nice and tight. Rob Brown has a video on how to tune the bass down here below for your the kick drum. Um, Now, like I said, because it's just Yamaha, I had to do something a little bit differently. I know his method is for tuning the kick drum is same as he does with the tom and the snares. Is he deadens the heads, and then he tunes at each lug until the wrinkles are gone. However, what he does with the floor tom is what he does with the kick drum is that after he tunes until all the wrinkles are gone, then he will detune just a little bit until a little bit of wrinkle reappears. Um, I tried that for my kick drum with the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. That little teeny part didn't work out for me, so I had to keep the kick drum tight, following the same method pretty much, follow the same exact method, but I couldn't detune until a little bit of the wrinkles reappeared. It was still sounding it was sounding still like it came straight out of the box, like I hadn't tuned it yet, so it didn't work. So I had to um, do every other step and skip that very last step for me to get the sound I was looking for, and I love it. So that's my recommendation for when you're tuning, especially if you haven't changed your heads yet. One thing that he is absolutely one thing that absolutely stayed true for this set, or when you put some of the kick when you're trying to muffle your kick drum, is having one pillow or something like that on the inside. And I only got one pillow, and the sound is just incredibly muffled. I'm very pleased. Yes, learning how to tune from guys like Rob Brown is tremendous. This is the kick on the outside too, because he recommends tuning both sides of the kick. Yeah. I can't wait to see what it sounds like once I set up my mics. Can't wait. Beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. So for my snare, um, got two drum keys. I'm gonna tell you guys another thing. Yeah, so for my snare, I used two drum keys. I used Yamaha's drum keys, and I used this drum key right here. This other drum key that I have in my hand is a drum key that I ordered off Amazon. Um, I got the drum key right here that comes with the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. Um, for free automatically. Love it. I got another one for the other Yamaha Stage Custom Birch that I have at the church that I could easily use. Um, yes, his method is lifesaver, lifesaver, especially if especially especially if you change the heads. Um, my recommendation though is if you're struggling to tune or on your own, or follow his method step by step on your own, and you're struggling to get the sound that you want. My recommendation though is to look for a drum specialist. The Guitar Center, if you buy a drum set from the Guitar Center, they have a drum specialist. And drum specialists be happy to help you tune the sound, help you get the sound that you like. You know, um, these drum specialists for a reason, they're very knowledgeable. So that's my whole recommendation. Um, let's see. Another thing I want to talk about is learning how to another thing I want to talk about is learn how to do gospel chops or any type of chops. Um, the big thing is about learning gospel chops is yeah, you want to of course start off with, for me, I started off with my singles, and then I went on to my doubles, of course. But where I really started off with was my right, left, or my left, right. That's where I started off with, and I built up the speed. Hold on. Here's your mother downstairs. I gotta ask her a question. Just a moment, would you? Hey, David, ask your mother where she goes to pick up my medicine sometimes. Walmart's on the highway, right? Walmart's on the highway. So you say that, I see, yeah. So I'm back. But yeah, that's a huge thing, man. Is if you don't know how to tune, learn. If you don't know how to tune, learn how to tune from these. Learn how to tune from guys like Rob Brown. Follow them step by step. Understand the type of drum set you have. Do your research on the drum set. Google it. See what type of frequency I should tune to if you are a fan of the fat deep sound for toms that you hear. If you like you're a drummer for worship, or if you're a drummer for rock, any genre, learn what type of shells you have, learn what type of heads you need. If you're going to change heads, can't change heads, learn what type of frequency you need to tune to, because normally, most of the time, if you use the stock heads, no matter what you do, if it goes straight out of the box, it's going to be very hard to get a good sound, unless you know you have like a DW set, and you have like some kind of thick shells, and it can help you get rid of the resonance. Or if you can get like a drum ring or something like that, and you are able to follow, and you know what you're doing, you're able to follow those tuning method steps from Drumming or from Rob Brown and stuff, then you have a chance to get a good sound. You got a chance. Yeah, but that's how my toms sound with the drum rings. if I turn the snare wires off. Now my big thing too is that the way you strike the drums is big too for how good of a sound you get. That's me turning off the snare wires. So, matter of fact, hold on. This is what I was talking about when I record. So, yeah. Now I'm gonna turn the snare wire back on. Um, but yes, I'm gonna come back though to what I was talking about earlier though with learning how to do drum fills and stuff. So I started off with when I first started playing, I did a lot of really fast, simple rolls like your like boom, like your right, left, or you start off the right hand, you're going right, left, and you just keep going right, left. You're like constantly, or you're like boom, or you're saying. I did those type of fills for years. Where I was going right, left, right, left, right, left, really, really fast, all around the kit. Um, that's a good. If you're starting out, that's a good foundation. That's a good foundation. Is starting off with your right, left, or your right, left, right. Yep, your right, left, right, which is right, left, right, or your right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Whereas if you go up the speed, it can sound really nice. Um, and then from there, you graduate. You graduate from there. You graduate to learning your ghost notes. Learning your ghost notes. Like, and your ghost notes, of course, is going to be um, hit high. Have one stick high. Have one stick high so you can hit hard, and then the other stick low. That's a trick that you can use, and then have it low so that it will automatically so the sound automatically be soft. So right stick's going to be high, so it can hit hard. Left stick's going to be very low, as close to the snare as possible, so I can hit soft. Right, left, right, left, right, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So that's a big thing when you're learning chops and gospel is to master your ghost notes. Right, 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 left. Or left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Notice how one stick is high and the other one's low. So it's now when I was learning how to do the Rosanna shuffle, when I was learning that, because I went to Drumeo and was learning that on YouTube. I was like, now one trick that he taught was, so when he was doing the Rosanna shuffle, it was like where in the left hand, if you want to boom boom, if you want to make a ghost note with your left hand, hit, raise the stick high, and then let it drop low. Raise it high and then let it drop, almost like you're dropping it to the floor. Like, yeah, because one thing I recommend if you want to really master your ghost notes, or if you is to master Rosanna shuffle and then let it hit intentionally high like this. You can practice. I recommend practicing with a very loose grip, so you can almost act like you're dropping the snare. Dropping the stick. Up, down, almost like a bouncing a basketball. That's going to automatically help you make a ghost note. So it's hollow, like you're bouncing a basketball. So it's so it's almost like you're dropping a stick to the floor when you're mastering this. So it's when you're doing the ghost note, the continued ghost notes in the snare. In order to master ghost note, like I said, like the original way is keep the stick very low. Keep the stick very low and very close to the snare. That was how I learned. So I'm going to show you right, left, left. So it's, notice how the right stick is high, the left stick is low down, close to the snare. So it's right, left, left. Yep, so I'm doing a double with the left, single with the right. Okay, so my recommendation is start practicing slow, like right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right. Then practice stuff like the Rosanna shuffle. And then from there, once you master Rosanna shuffle, or before you even master Rosanna shuffle, if you get comfortable doing right, left, left, you can play a groove. Play a song or make up a beat in your head and just start practicing on a pocket groove, doing right, left, left, doing a right, left, left pocket groove, where yeah, right, left, left. So I'm pretending like this is my hi-hat. So right hand is hitting, left hand's on the snare, doing a double. Notice what I'm doing to make a groove here is I hit the, when I do the right, left, left, I'm taking the hand that's hitting the hi-hat, which is the right hand, and I'm bringing it over to hit the snare. And then you can hit the toms, so it's like So after that second right, left, left, then you're going to switch the right hand to the snare. So notice how I went to the tom. Right, left, left, right, left, left, kick. Right, left, 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 So it's right, left, left. So it's right, left, 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 right. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. And that's the beginning of getting used to applying your feels to the whole drum set quickly. Instead of always just living on the snare for a long time. Even though there's nothing wrong with learning like that, that's a great way to learn too. But if you want to learn how to, if you want to quickly learn how to apply your feels to the entire drum set, starting off with a right, left, left, a basic right, left, left, where the action is on the right hand. So that could be a good exercise for you guys. And then, and this is when, the more comfortable you get doing a right, left, left, and the faster you get, that right there could start off as a building block to the gospel chops. But I talk about working on doubles with your right hand too, like you do with your left. Instead of a right, left, left, you can do left, right, right. I'm left-handed, so this is gonna be a little bit harder. It's gonna be a little bit challenging, but so I'm gonna do it left-handed. So I'm gonna show you left is gonna be high, right stick's gonna be low, doing a right, right. That's your precursor to your six-stroke roll. The six-stroke roll is big time. There's so much you can do out of a six-stroke roll, and when you're playing gospel music, there's so much you can do. If you and then for your six-stroke roll, you start learning your paradiddle, and then you start learning your paradiddle diddle. I really love the paradiddle diddle lick, because it opens up the door for so many different possibilities. Um, and this is, but the foundation starts with being able to do simple stuff like a right, left, like a right, left, really, really fast around the kit, and then graduating from singles and regular singles and doubles with your like your right left to your or your right left right, graduating from those basic singles and doubles to your singles and doubles that are almost like 16 notes, like your right left left or your left right right. And then, of course, having the foot speed. Um, One thing that I learned how to do, well, I mastered the heel toe technique. Um, the heel toe technique, it helps me be very versatile. Um, it allows me to be able to go from and go from to be able to change the dynamics. Like let's say I was playing rock or heavy metal. The heel toe. What I like about the heel toe is that the heel toe allows me to transition from some like gospel to heavy metal. I'm working on the slide technique. I can do the slide technique some, but not like I can do the heel toe technique. The heel toe technique is the easiest one out of all the different techniques out there. Like the slide, it's easier than the slide technique. Um, one thing that I one thing that I did when I was learning the heel toe technique was, and you can practice the heel toe technique without a pedal. Um, but the big thing about the heel toe technique, and I made a video. It's on my channel. I accidentally had it where people couldn't comment. I'm still learning, but big thing is let's see. I'm gonna try to see if I can have it where you guys can see my foot here. So start with your heel up, almost like you're doing a calf raise, and then your boom, heel up, heel comes down. That's a good exercise. That's a good way. That's a good exercise for the heel toe. Heel up, and heel comes down, almost like a rocking chair. It's like a rocking chair motion. Up, down, and then back up. So you start with your heel up, and then you bring your heel down, and then your heel comes right back up into that starting position. So heel up, heel down, heel back up. Heel up, heel down, heel back up. Heel up, heel down, and heel back up. Yep. So I started off very slow. Boom, 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 like that. Boom. And I would hit my lap. Boom. And then once I got comfortable, then I started building up the speed, and I was like, and and even when I got really really fast like that, I didn't start off right away trying to play it, use it in songs and stuff right away. But one thing that I recommend is trying to play very simple grooves. Once you first start to really get fast, see if you can pull it once you master it without a pedal, and you take it to the pedal. Is playing real simple grooves. Like this is a very example of a groove that I used to play. It's a very simple groove. Very simple groove for me, at least. One thing that I recommend too is if you're gonna use the heel toe technique and you want to be really really fast at it, is make sure you're not skipping leg day, or now a very good exercise that you can do to build up that foot speed if you want to use the heel toe technique is your calf raises. You got your calf raises. I mean, now your calf raises aren't necessarily um, a leg day exercise, but but you do want to have strong calves. You want to have strong calves if you want to be extremely fast. If you want to develop fast feet, you want to have strong ankles. So yes, so I recommend calf raises. I recommend building up this muscle here um, by doing exercises like this like even if you don't have a towel, what this does is this strengthens the Achilles, strengthens this muscle here. This muscle here is that I'm pointing my finger at is going to be big time for you. You do not want that muscle to be getting worn out. You want to develop that muscle. You want to do workouts like I'm doing now with my. I'm gonna try to move it like you don't need a towel for this, but it's um, similar to a towel pull exercise. You don't have a towel, you can work on pulling a shoe to build that muscle. Uh, you bring that shoe up and down, up and down. Anything. Don't have a towel, you can use a hoodie, or something like that. Anything to build that muscle up right there. Um, I think and then I think having a great, very high drums. I think having a great drum stool that is not sitting too low and allows you to sit up straight is very essential too, and that so that you can reach the drum set. Another thing that's important about drumming a bit. That's another thing that's essential is having a good drum throne, building up your lower back, building up your calves, and building up that muscle. Um, and having a good drum throne will allow you to be able to use that foot speed. Allow you to be able to use that foot speed without putting too much pressure on your ankles and your knees, building up your thighs and stuff. This is why I say don't skip leg day when you're working on like your thighs and stuff, and you're working on your squats and all that stuff. Don't skip leg day. You do your backwards walking. Um, you can do your back extensions, your glute bridges, those kinds of things can be very beneficial to you as a drummer and to be able to unlock that foot speed without getting exhausted and making sure you're having a good drum throne. Um, Fire hydrants are a very good exercise. These are because a lot of times people don't think you need to hit the gym as a musician, but I think you should definitely be hitting the gym as a musician. Um, Other things is making sure that you're building up your wrists, strengthening your wrists, so that you don't develop things like carpal tunnel syndrome and all that. Um, this is a good exercise right here to do. This is another one to take care of your wrists and stuff. The other thing too is making sure you're taking care of your shoulders um, with your lateral side raises and stuff. I've done those exercises too. Um, Backwards walking when you're done with your leg workouts and stuff. Um, to make sure that you're taking good care of your knees, making sure you know, and then understanding and making sure that you have a good setup too. As but yes, those things are essential even if you do have a great setup and a great drum drum, because you're going to be sitting for long. Because if you're playing for long hours, you're going to be sitting for long periods of time. But I hope that information is informative. Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna get ready and go. I enjoyed doing this live with you. Got some other things to do. Y'all have a great day.